Has this ever happened to you? It has to me. Well, let's fix it. Yo, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to wherever you are in the world. It is Stack440, and I'm going to give some tips and tricks on how to break those pesky Alatreon horns in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. This video assumes you already have an understanding of the fight, but I will go over it briefly. Alatreon is an elementally unstable black dragon introduced in Monster Hunter Tri in 2009. He has now made his way into Iceborne. Alatreon in Iceborne has three what we call modes. Those modes are Fire, Dragon, and Ice Elemental modes. Alatreon will start the fight in Fire or Ice mode depending on the quest. So in the special assignment, he will always start in Fire mode, and in the event quest, he will either start in Fire or Ice mode depending on the quest chosen. While you can certainly use Dragon, Thunder, or Water weapon elemental damage against Alatreon, Ice and Fire are most effective on the opposite elemental mode. In other words, if Alatreon is in Fire mode, you want to be using an Ice weapon. But if Alatreon is in Ice mode, you want to be using a Fire weapon. This is especially true if you are having trouble doing enough elemental damage to weaken his Eschaton Judgment. These modes will rotate approximately every 3 minutes, so it will look something like this. Fire mode into Dragon mode, into Eschaton Judgment, into Ice mode. The Dragon mode will be the point in which we can affect this rotation. We can manipulate Alatreon's ability to control his elements by breaking his horns while he's in Dragon mode. If we do this, he will be forced to return to the previous elemental mode. And then the rotation will look something like this. Fire mode into Dragon mode, into Eschaton Judgment, but back to Fire mode. This allows you to get the most out of your elemental weapon. In this example, an Ice weapon. If any of you have further questions about how Alatreon works, feel free to leave a question in the comments below. You can join our Discord, or you can join me at twitch.tv/stack440. I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting at noontime, Eastern Standard Time, and I'm typically streaming a Monster Hunter game. The links for all of that will be in the description below. All right. I'm now going to show you how to get that precious uptime on the head so you can maximize your elemental damage and complete the fight. To demonstrate, I will show footage of each example while mostly using longsword and using some dual blades. So let's start it off with the fire elemental abilities. Just a special note, this video assumes you are able to comfortably get this knockdown animation before Eschaton Judgment. If you are having trouble with this, let me know and I'm sure that I can help. The first ability I want to mention is the straight up fire breath that he does. Nothing special here, just walk up, hit him in the head as he's doing the attack. The sweeping fire breath attack will do just as it says and sweep across the arena as shown. You can dodge the attack and then go in for a hit or two, or you can just straight up attack the head here for some pretty good uptime. Depends on your positioning at the beginning of the breath. Let's take a look at a couple of examples demonstrating this. The fire circle attack, if dodged correctly, can give amazing uptime on the head due to the fact that after the bullseye explosion happens, he will put his head down right where the bullseye was for quite some time. So to explain this a little further, let's take it step by step. So step 1 is to dodge the initial attack And then step 2 is going to be get out of the bullseye of the attack and into the ring just outside of it. Step 3 is going to be move into the bullseye area after it explodes and then hit Alatreon's head. Let's take a look at a couple more examples of the fire circle attack. All right, that'll do it for the fire elemental abilities. Let's take a look at the ice elemental abilities now. Don't worry if you see Alatreon's ice or fire modes used to display these attacks. Alatreon can and will do all of these during dragon mode. The first ice attack that we'll discuss is the starting vertical breath that leads to his ice rain attack and his typical transition to flying. This is a great opportunity to tenderize the head, as shown here, among other things that we'll get into a bit later. The next ability he can do is an ice floor breath. He can also do a fire floor breath, but that one is a little more dangerous and I tend to stay away from it. You will probably get Ice Blight from running in, but a Nullberry will cure that right up, and if you have the Coalescence skill on, get a little extra damage increase as well after curing the Blight. Or you can just use level 3 Blight resistance and not worry about Blight at all. Alatreon's Ice Breath causes the ground near it to give Ice Blight and cause some damage. So you can dodge around it and then go for the head. Be careful though, because you might get too close and have to have your Palico come and pick you up, as demonstrated right here. Yeah, so don't do this. Okay. All right, let's see some examples of how to properly deal with the Ice Breath. Okay, let's take a look at some other scenarios where you can get some great uptime on the head to break those horns with. Alright, let's start with the lightning walk. Alatreon does a lightning move where he will cross his front feet over one another while walking. This is a great opportunity for horn uptime. Alright, let's slow it down a little bit so you can see exactly what I mean. Here you see Alatreon getting staggered after a lightning walk. Staggers are also great for uptime and tenderizing. If you clutch claw during a stagger like this, you can extend the stagger duration. This is especially helpful during multiplayer because only one clutch claw is necessary to extend that stagger. If Alatreon isn't enraged while in the air, you can attempt to knock him down and take out the head that way. Be cautious though. This can be dangerous as Alatreon does constant attacks while in the air. Here are a couple of examples of taking him out while he's flying with a flinch shot. Keep in mind that some animations, such as the vertical frost breath that leads into the ice rain, can't be interrupted by a flinch shot as shown right here. This might seem obvious, but I'm only pointing it out to encourage you to bring your Palico equipped with a weapon that causes paralyze or sleep. Very helpful in solo to grab some great uptime. If you are in good position while Alatreon does his tail swing, you can get at least a hit or two in on the head. This can be a huge opening for a teammate that isn't targeted with this attack. Okay, just a few more things to talk about here. Let's talk about mounting. So, if you save your mount damage for Dragon mode, that can be useful if you are having trouble with head uptime. Another thing I wanted to mention is that you can break the head, if not do considerable damage to it, with a wall bang, or boop as we like to call it. There are special spots around the arena that Alatreon will bang into, otherwise, the wall bang will be unsuccessful. Lastly, I wanted to discuss when damage counts and when it does not. If you knock Alatreon down with elemental damage that weakens his Eschaton Judgment, you cannot break the horns or damage them. However, if timed correctly, as shown right here, you can get a break or uptime on the horns just after he recovers from the knockdown. So mounting, air flint shots, and wall banging allow for horn damage, but elemental dramatic knockdowns do not. So do keep that in mind while you're fighting Alatreon. So I hope these examples of head uptime have helped you, and now you feel better prepared to take on the Black Dragon Alatreon. If you have further tips and tricks for this fight, please let me know in the comments below. This is also my first attempt at a guide type video, so please let me know how I did. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can join me for the next video. I hope to see you in my streams and on Discord. Links are in the description below. Peace. Well, that's fun. Oh shit! That's not. What are you doing? Why? Why would you jump into that, you dum-dum? Oh my god. Wrong button.